Now, the one play touchdown is the sexy throw in Madden. Of course, everyone is addicted to the big play, one play scores, but those don't open up unless you have manipulations for underneath zones that can draw your opponent's attention to how to stop the check down game. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you guys how to glitch out flat zones of all types. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell, get out your pen and pad, you're gonna need it, and let's lock in. Now, for the purpose of today's video, we're gonna be talking about destroying cloud flats and hard flats. And I think it's very, very important that we understand both because they have their time and place in the meta defenses of Madden. Let's start off with kind of understanding how players like to steal first downs from a meta perspective. So let's start off with kind of understanding how most players tend to take first downs away from the defense. And that is going to be on any third or fourth down in medium or long. We usually are going to go to some sort of speed out route that is custom stemmed up towards the chains, and then players will just rip this throw into the sideline and make this catch. Now, right there, we didn't get the catch animation, but you guys have all faced a deep out route at some point this year. They are very, very annoying. Everybody throws them. They are a pain. Just throw it down an outside pass lead and toe tap on the sideline. So as a result, a lot of players will transition out of a cover 3 or cover 4 defense with hard flats, and they will start to play a cloud flat defense against you. What the cloud flat defense is going to do is it's going to make sure that the outside corner is going to be in a spot on the sideline where these deep outs cannot damage them. So you see right here, if I try to throw this guy is basically on the hip of that guy. That's a fluky catch. Sometimes that will happen, but that's not a throw that you can live on. So once you start to see your opponents transition towards a cloud flat style defense where these outside throws on the sideline simply aren't there, you're going to have to come up with other ideas to attack the sidelines, especially if you want to get chunk yardage. What's up, guys? If you're enjoying the video, make sure you guys like it and subscribe to the channel, but also make sure you guys check out gridirongameplans.gg, the best place to get better at Madden and college football. With weekly updated vault content, we're staying on top of the meta, the most effective tactics, what pros are doing, how to counter it when you face it online. Just $9.95 a month. Check it out. Best deal in the tip space. Got a Discord, lab sessions for free. Just had one last night. Also, make sure that you guys check out our game plans, all included. You don't have to pay for individual game plans on the website. Now back to the video. So what we're going to do here today is we're going to be talking about a couple of different ways that cloud flats can get manipulated on the sideline. The first way that we're going to talk about this is a very common route combo that a lot of players are using right now to pull cloud flats, and that is to call a Y trips, or a trips formation in particular. Y means that your tight end is part of the trips. I prefer a Y trips because it's going to blend perfectly with the second part of this little glitch. And what players will do is they will put the outside receiver on a post and the inside receiver on a wheel, and then traditionally a little baby out route from the tight end on this. Now, with this particular route combination, what is intended to occur is this post route, when we have this on the field, will make this cloud flat chuck, and it will actually drop to the inside and follow it up the field a little bit, which is going to leave the wheel route open on the sideline for a bullet pass. You see right here, we were able to deliver this and pick up a first down. But believe it or not, this route combo gets so much more intricate with the way that you guys can utilize it, because if you guys want to, you can actually custom stem this route down all the way. And then what we're going to do is we are going to make it so it sees the wheel route sooner, and instead of running with the post route, it runs with the wheel route, which now is going to open up the tight end, our Y and our Y trips, on this out route. So what you're going to see right here is a completely different response from the exact same zone, and this just leaves the sideline wide open. You could throw this almost blind if you know it's a cloud flat on the outside. Now, I want to give a shout out to Ant Cap on this, because he and I used to work together for several years, and this is one of those route combos that I've remembered, even though I run a bunch tight end this year. When you want to steal a first down, you always try to remember your library of beaters, and this is something that he kind of introduced me to almost 7 years ago when we were working together. So this is a concept that I find myself going back to whenever I'm dealing with a cloud flat on the outside, and I want to just kind of get tricky with it. You see right here how this concept allows me to throw this out route, because basically the cloud flat has two rules. It basically allows the first guy to go vertical because he's got a deep zone behind him. So with this cover 2, there's deep zone help. So he can let that guy go. But now another vertical route enters his area and he realizes he no longer has help behind him. And that forces him to play him man to man, even though this is a zone. And then that opens up the sideline underneath. Now, if the idea of running this route combo with this out route to the tight end stemmed up deeper is intimidating to you, you actually could go ahead and just leave this as a traditional regular out route and just throw this underneath of this zone. It'll have the same behavior, but the problem is sometimes if that out route gets out to the sideline too fast, this will make it so that player can't match. Right here, he was in the act of matching it, but it's important to know that it must work where this wheel enters vertically through his zone before the out route enters into the low area of his zone. This was about as close as this could get without this player not turning into match, if you will. So don't stem your out route down or use a flat route because he's gonna enter that flat way too quickly for this. So when you think about it, we actually have the ability with this concept to make him over follow the post route and leave the wheel route wide open. Or we can make the wheel route the focus route and leave out routes to the tight end wide open on this call. So this is a wonderful route manipulation, and it's so good because it's on the sideline away from where most people like to use the field. Now that's how we can manipulate a cloud flat. That's great when you're throwing out routes and you can kind of bait your opponent into calling that coverage, or maybe they just have that as their default call on a 3rd and medium where they put their outside corner into a cloud flat and play either a cover 2 or a cover 3 cloud. You could go to this route combo all day against that. But what about the primary meta of the game in which players are playing cover 3 or cover 4 and putting their guys onto hard flats? Well, that's where we're going to talk about a completely different manipulation here. And this is going to be a breakdown here where what we want is a compressed solo receiver. So I'm going to choose a formation like this spread nasty here, for instance. And what we want is just that solo receiver with a running back on the same side. And anytime you're facing a hard flat, I don't care if this is cover 2 hard flat or cover 3 or cover 4 hard flat, whenever you face this type of defense, we are going to just streak the running back out of the backfield, and that is going to pull the flat to the inside. So let's start off with cover 2 hard flat. All the combo is the running back runs a streak, the solo receiver runs an out route, and you can actually stem this up 1 D-pad click. That's it. And I want you to watch the outside corner on this rep. He's gonna bite to the inside and leave the sideline wide open for a first down, okay? So this is a really simple call, something you could do against any hard flat in the game. I don't care what the covered shell is. That was a cover 2. Let's go ahead and run the exact same thing here against a cover 3 hard flat, where instead of the outside guy being the flat defender, it's gonna be a slot defender. So we got cover 3 hard flat here. Now, again, we're putting the solo receiver on an out route. You could custom stem this up 1 D-pad click, put the running back on a streak, and snap the ball. You're going to see that this hard flat defender bites to the inside, and we have an easy throw on the sideline for a first down. This is another way to just absolutely destroy people that like to run the dollar meta or the 1-4 meta, those crossfire loops, the ram blitzes where you have 4 deep zones and then a hard flat on each side and people just switch stick around. This is a great way for you to steal first downs. Now, if you don't have a formation like this stock, that doesn't mean you can't create one, okay? So let's go ahead and kind of illustrate what I'm talking about here. Look at this spread formation, this trips halfback week with an outside receiver all the way out wide on the sideline. That's okay. We can actually make do with this. So let's go back to that cover 2 hard flat again. Now, I will say it doesn't necessarily matter in most playbooks if you don't have a formation with a solo receiver compressed. You're going to be able to create this out of a lot of playbooks. Now, unfortunately for me, Seattle doesn't have a formation where I have the running back and an outside receiver to the same side that allows me to motion him in. But if you can kind of imagine a gun wide trips halfback week, this solo receiver can be motioned to the inside a couple steps. As long as you get a receiver in that slot role with the running back on the same side, you're going to be quite fine. So the formation I was just in was the spread nasty. Another formation that's fairly similar is going to be the bunch Y flex. Completely different formation, similar alignment. Again, this is universal conceptual. As long as you can get these rules followed with a condensed split receiver, you're going to be just fine. So you see right here, we got this tight end That's solo. That's fine. Just put him on an out route, stem it up a little bit, streak the running back, watch the hard flat bite inside. I mean, it's that simple. So again, it doesn't matter what formation you're in, as long as you can get these alignments, you can create these with motion if you want to. That's how we manipulate cloud flats. That's how we manipulate hard flats. It's really easy to steal first downs all game long, throwing out routes or wheels or whatever you want, really, with these different manipulations that pull these cloud flats or these hard flats inside. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and also check out gridirongameplans.gg, the best place to get better at Madden. I'll see you guys on Monday. Until then, this is Zan in the lab, and good luck.